Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're plunging into biology, the science of life itself. And honestly, the sheer variety is, it's just incredible, isn't it?
It really is. Think about it. Tiny microbes, giant whales, ancient forests.
Coral reefs teeming with color, it's almost overwhelming.
It is. And this sense of wonder, this recognition of living versus non-living, it goes way back. Early humans definitely saw the difference.
Between, say, a warm animal and a cold stone.
Yeah.
Or a flowing river versus just still water.
Exactly. They sensed that vitality. Sometimes they even saw spirits in nature. And later they started, describing the plants and animals around them.
Right. But initially, it was all very human-focused, wasn't it? Based on our own needs and experiences.
Very much so. Which is natural, of course, but it limited the perspective. We needed something more systematic.
To really grasp the huge diversity out there.
Precisely. We needed ways to identify things consistently, give them proper names, that's nomenclature, and then group them logically. Classification.
And speaking of people who helped build that systematic view, our sources highlight Ernst Mayr, the Darwin of the 20th century.
Mayr, yes. Lived from 1904 to 2004, a whole century. His work was truly pivotal for evolutionary biology.
He really zeroed in on why there's so much diversity, didn't he? Made the origin of species a central question.
He absolutely did. Before him, the focus wasn't quite the same. He also gave us the modern definition of a biological species, a huge contribution.
And he racked up some serious awards, too. The Balzan Prize, International Prize for Biology, the Crefeld Prize. Quite the legacy.
Indeed. And it all comes back to that basic wonder, life thriving in deserts, on icy mountains, deep oceans.
Or just the beauty of it. A galloping horse, migrating birds, even like the tiny molecular dances inside a cell, it makes you ask.
What is living, scientifically speaking?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's our focus today. We're sticking to the science, setting aside the deeper philosophical why for now.
Right. So the living world, even in a small area, you see some variety. But expand your view.
And it just explodes. A park, a forest. Endless kinds of plants, insects, birds.
And that's just what's visible. There's this whole hidden world of microorganisms, too. The sources mention about 1.7 to 1.8 million species identified so far.
Identified and described. That number's amazing. But it's not the final count, is it? They're finding new things all the time.
Constantly, which shows just how much biodiversity there is and, that our knowledge is always growing. Now imagine trying to talk about all these organisms using only local names.
Oh, it would be impossible. My Robin isn't your Robin if we live in different places. Communication would just break down.
Utter chaos, like you said. That's why a standard system is crucial, nomenclature. But you can't just name something randomly.
You need to know what it is first. Describe it accurately, identify it.
Exactly. So the scientific community set up rules. International codes.
Like the ICBN for plants, International Code for Botanical Nomenclature.
That's the one. And the ICZN, International Code of Zoological Nomenclature for Animals. These codes ensure everyone's on the same page, globally.
So one unique scientific name for each organism understood everywhere.
Correct. It cuts out all the ambiguity. And the dominant system we use is binomial nomenclature.
Two names, binomial. That was Carolus Linnaeus, right?
Yes, pioneered by Linnaeus. It's elegant, really. Two parts. The genus name first, then the specific epithet.
Okay, can you give us an example? Make it concrete.
Sure. Take the mango. Its scientific name is Mangifera indica.
Okay, so Mangifera is the genus.
Right. And indica is the specific epithet, pinpointing that particular species within the Mangifera genus.
Got it. Genus like a surname, specific epithet like a given name. And there are rules for writing these names, too.
Yes, universal rules. They're usually Latin or Latinized and written in italics, or underlined if handwritten.
Underlined separately, I remember reading that.
Yes, and the genus name starts with a capital letter, always.
But the specific epithet is lowercase.
Always lowercase. And sometimes you'll see an abbreviated name after it, like Mangifera indica Linn.
Linn, for Linnaeus, showing who first described it.
Exactly. It credits the original describer.
Okay, that system makes a lot of sense for unique naming. But as you said, a giant list of names isn't very useful on its own. How do we organize them?
Right, you need organization. Like a library needs shelves and sections, not just books piled up. That's classification. Grouping things based on shared features.
Into convenient categories.
Right.
Like plants, animals, insects, mammals.
Precisely. And the scientific term for any of these categories at any level is taxon. Plural is taxa.
So birds is a taxon, but animals is also a taxon, just a broader one.
Exactly. Taxa represent different levels in a hierarchy. Mammals is a taxon, dogs is a taxon within mammals.
And the whole process of figuring out these groups and putting organisms into them based on characteristics, that's taxonomy.
That's taxonomy. And it's
Yeah.
not just about looks anymore. Modern taxonomy uses internal structure, cell details, development, ecology.
So it involves characterizing the organism, identifying it, classifying it into taxa, and then giving it the right name using nomenclature.
Those are the basics, yes. Characterization, identification, classification, nomenclature.
Interesting that early classifications were often based on use, food, clothes, shelter. Very practical.
Understandable, but limited. We needed a system reflecting, well, the actual relationships between life forms, not just their usefulness to us.
Which brings us to systematics.
Right, systematics. From the Latin systema, meaning systematic arrangement. Linnaeus even used it in his book title, Systema Naturae.
So systematics is broader than just classification.
Yes. It includes identification, nomenclature, and classification, but crucially, it also considers the evolutionary relationships, the history, the connections between organisms.
So like understanding the family tree of life, not just sorting the individuals.
That's a great analogy. And this classification, it's built like a ladder, a hierarchy. Each step, each level is a rank or category.
The taxonomic category. And
Yeah.
all the categories together make the taxonomic hierarchy.
Correct. Each category, or taxon, is a unit within that hierarchy. Think about insects.
Okay, insects, they have 3 pairs of jointed legs, right?
That's a key shared characteristic. It lets us group millions of different creatures into that one category, that taxon, which has a specific rank.
And these ranks have specific names, forming the hierarchy.
They do. From most specific to most general, the main ones are species, genus, family, order, class, phylum.
Or division for plants.
Right. Division for plants, and finally, kingdom. Species is the base level, the fundamental unit.
Okay, let's unpack those. Species. A group of similar individuals distinct from others,
Okay.
like Mangifera, Indica, mango, Solanum tuberosum, potato, Panthera leo, lion.
Correct. Indigo, tuberosum, leo are the specific epithets. Mangifera, solanum, panthera are the genera.
And a genus groups related species, like Solanum includes potato and eggplant.
Exactly. They share more in common than they do with species in other genera. Panthera includes lion, leopard, tiger, distinct species, but clearly related and different from, say, house cats in the genus Felis.
Moving up. Family.
Okay.
Groups related genera. Similarities are fewer now than within a genus.
Fewer, yes. Like the family Solanaceae includes Solanum, Petunia, Detergenera, grouped by plant features, or the cat family, Felidae, includes Panthera and Felis.
And Felidae is distinct from the dog family, Canidae.
Very distinct, though both are in the same order, which is the next level up.
Order groups related families. Even fewer similarities here.
Fewer still. Plant families like Convolvulacea and Solanaceae are in the order Polymoniales, based on flower characteristics. Animal families Felidae and Canidae are in the order Carnivora.
Based on being carnivores, presumably.
Among other shared traits, yes. Then, related orders make up a class.
Like class Mammalia includes order Primata, monkeys, apes, humans, and order Carnivora, cats, dogs.
And others, yes. All sharing core mammalian traits like hair and mammary glands.
Getting broader. Next up is phylum for animals, division for plants, groups-related classes.
Right. For example, phylum Chordata includes classes like fish, amphibians, reptiles, birds, mammals, all sharing features like a notochord at some stage.
Okay, and the highest level.
Kingdom, the broadest category. Kingdom Animalia for all animal phyla, Kingdom Plantae for all plant divisions.
The sources have a really useful table showing this for man, housefly, mango, wheat. It lays out the full hierarchy: species, genus, family, order, class, phylum division, kingdom.
Homo sapiens, Musca domestica, Mangifera indica, Tritica mastivum. Yeah, tables like that show it clearly.
And it makes the point that as you go up from species to kingdom, the groups get bigger, but the members share fewer specific characteristics.
Exactly. More general similarities at higher levels, more specific ones lower down. Classification gets more complex as you go up too. Lower taxes are easier to define by shared traits.
And there can be subcategories too, right? Like subclass or superfamily for finer detail.
Oh, yes. The hierarchy can be subdivided quite a bit to reflect relationships more accurately. It's not rigidly fixed. It evolves as we learn more.
Especially now with genetics and molecular data adding so much detail.
Absolutely. Systematics is dynamic. New data constantly helps us refine our understanding of life's evolutionary tree, and classifications get updated.
Well, this has been incredibly helpful. We've covered the amazing diversity, the need for standard names, nomenclature, and this whole hierarchical system of classification, taxonomy, and systematics, from species all the way up to kingdom.
And these aren't just abstract concepts. These systems are fundamental tools. They're essential for everything from agriculture and medicine to understanding ecosystems and, crucially, conserving biodiversity.
A universal language for biology, really, based on those international codes of the binomial system.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Clear, precise communication is key. So, thinking about all this and how we're constantly finding new species and refining relationships with new data.
Like genetics changing things.
Right, so here's something to ponder. How do you think our picture of life's family tree, our whole classification system, might change even more in the future as our tools and knowledge keep advancing?